Welcome back to the channel. Etep Wokuian right here with you. Today we have a Harvey Wokuian producer request video from superfan Adam Shawhan. Great friend of the channel, and more importantly than that, just a great friend in real life and a great guy overall. He requested this Heels Season 1 review. Vinnieart joined me for it, and I felt it best to present this video as it was recorded and give you our uncut, unfiltered thoughts on the show. So ladies and gentlemen, this is requested by superfan Adam Shawhan on the Harvey Wokuian producer tier. On the channel, you can join. Membership info is available on the homepage. $2.99 to be a Kazuian, $4.99 for Harvey Wokuian producer tier. If not, just subscribe, that's enough. We'd like to thank superfan Adam Shawhan for supporting the channel and requesting this video. So without further ado, ladies and gents, here it is, our review of Heels Season 1. All right, so we're here. I am with Vinnieart, and this video was requested by Harvey Wokuian producer tier member superfan Adam Shawhan. He requested that I review Heels Season 1. And Vinny and I were talking about it and said, hey, I said, the more the merrier. Why don't you come on and we'll go through this first season and we'll talk about this series. Thanks for coming on, Vinny. Appreciate it, man.
Oh, dude, yeah, absolutely, man. Like I said, I watched the whole series. I'm a fan of Stephen Amell, and I've always been a fan of wrestling. So yeah, this is kind of up my alley. And I gotta say, it did not disappoint. Although I did predict the ending, and we'll get to that, I know, but there were some really interesting things that happened throughout the series. And again, knowing some people in wrestling and all that, just how it's all it's laid out. But we're going to be getting into it. So big shout out to Adam. You fucking rock, brother.
The super fan.
Yeah.
Yes. So season 1, episode 1 is kayfabe, and that basically introduces us to everybody. And yeah, right from the word go, I was like, oh wow, this is grimy. It's set in, it's outside of Atlanta in Duffy, Georgia. I'm like, I really liked it. I like that Stephen Amell looks like an indie wrestler. He just down to the way he talks. I mean, it's. Yeah, and I didn't know at first. I was looking, I was like, who wrote this? Michael Waldron, that wrote this, has written a lot of, like, the Marvel movies.
Okay, I didn't know that.
He's a very, very well-known screenwriter, I guess. Like, because I've seen his name, and then I looked, because I'm like, Michael Waldron, I'm like, why is that familiar? Yeah, Marvel, and he's written he has a ton of writing credits.
Nice.
But, the brother, I have to look up his name. Ace, the actor, but no, he was in Vikings.
He was on Vikings. Yeah.
Yep.
It was. I gotta finish that series. I think I'm like a season and a half that I still gotta watch on that.
The wife watched it. I caught like about a half of it. Really good. And I like this guy's the guy who plays Ace. I like Ace's. I liked his character in that because he was Ragnar's son. And in this as Ace, it's funny too, because it's like, having been in the indies for 10 years, it's like I've met most of these guys, like not them personally, but like the guys like them, right. Dude, when he's banging what's her name, Crystal, I'm just like,
yeah, that bird's hot. Kelly something.
She is, but I'm just like, oh, dude. Then and he's like, yeah, when he says to her, "You're not my girlfriend," I'm just like, she's a rat, But then
he treated her that way for sure.
He did. But then I like how they developed her character, and you get to see that she's got a passion for the business. She's not just a fucking dumb whore, because I have, like I said, haven't been there. There's fucking ring rats,
Yeah, she knows how the promos are supposed to be cut. She knows kind of how it should work out in the ring. Certain move sets, how to do those moves the correct way. Because you had that one dude.
The big Jim, or Bobby Pin.
Bobby Pin. Yeah, because he jumps off the top rope, and
Oh, yeah.
he does the elbow drop, and he goes across the guy's
Yep.
body entirely instead of doing it the way you're supposed to, and she
Yep.
corrects it.
Yeah, the all the in-ring stuff looked fucking great. Like it
Yeah.
really looked great. And speaking of the cast, the supporting characters, first of all, the guy that stood out to me was James Harrison that plays Apocalypse. I was like, he was one of my favorite NFL linebackers at one point. You know, he played for the Steelers, and
yeah.
he won me $250 on the Super Bowl when they played the Cardinals.
Oh, nice.
So I have a soft spot in my heart for James Harrison. That 98-yard interception return right at the end of the first half, that won me $250 right there.
He did a great job on that too, man. I like the lines they gave him. He's the guy came out of rehab. He got his second chance. He's staying loyal to the Duffy Foundation there. Like, that was really cool. I like that.
He looked good in the ring too. Like I like that. You know, a lot of times the NFL doesn't translate over to wrestling. It doesn't. And with him it did. It really it came across well. And one of my earbuds died. That's phenomenal. They were plugged in.
Damn.
What the fuck? Oh, that's all right. But yeah, he looked good. And then you had Diego, the bigger guy. He's kind of like, he reminds me of Jerry on The Walking Dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Big jovial. But and even he, for a bigger guy, he moved really well in the ring. So
he did. I was impressed. I thought it was going to be more sloppy looking, but it worked. Yeah. I like that team.
Yeah, they were good. Then you had what's his name, Rooster.
Yeah,
Rooster was
he's Alan Maldonado.
Yeah, he's the one. Like from the beginning, you can tell that like this guy is talented. He reminds me of my boy Gerald, who wrestled as Pretty Boy Diamond Couture, and he was in a tag team. What were they? The CIA. Dude, just as athletic. Gerald was a lot thinner than Rooster is, but the talent, the promo ability, like he'd post promos on Twitter, and like I think at one point like Scott Hall commented on one, Road Dogg did.
Oh, nice.
That Rooster really reminded me of him, and it's like the whole time you're seeing it's like you could see it building to him having an issue with Jack. Because the lack of a push, you know what I mean? He wasn't getting his push, and you could see it was weighing on him. But
he kept going out of his way to like the promoter's a dick, but he's also he's keeping himself the star. He's gonna probably pass it over to his brother, but when's my go? When's my go? And he's telling him it's gonna be the right moment. Right moment, we'll give it to you. I'll give you the chance. He goes, but just it's not right yet because the storyline isn't there yet. You can't just come out of nowhere.
It's got to make sense.
Yeah, it's got to make sense for sure.
Got to make sense.
That's what I like the approach that they did there with the writing of it all and how he was working all those characters the way that he did. Mm-hmm. Like it made sense. It was good. That's what was entertaining.
Yeah, and they did a good job of balancing the family stuff with the wrestling, and you've got Willie, she's like one of the agents backstage, like the producer. She's hilarious.
Mary McCormick, yeah, she did a great job on that.
Oh God, yeah. And then you've got the old lady that like runs around and I can't remember her name. You know what I'm talking about, that works the venue.
Yeah, she had the ponytail. I think it was Peggy.
Yeah. Yep.
Penny? I don't know. But
Penny,
it was
something like that.
Yeah, it was funny because it's like almost like she's like an idiot, but she knows how to do her job. That was pretty fun. But can we just for a second just take a moment for the one who played Amell's wife, Allison Luff? Holy shit! What a smoke show!
Yeah,
she's talented. Singing and playing guitar, like, oh my god, yeah, Yeah, that,
She was, dude. She was smoking
fantastic.
hot.
I want to see her doing more
Like,
stuff. Apparently, she just came from like Broadway shit and stage, that type of stuff. But
oh really?
they got to put her in more stuff, man. That she's a super talent. Her and that little
Yeah.
girl who played Crystal. The two of them, I want to see them in more stuff because I think
Mm-hmm.
you got some big talent right there.
Oh yeah. It's some people just click, and that's if
Hmm.
she just came from Broadway, it really clicked for her.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, she was at home in that. Um, so the end, you get the match between Jack and Ace at the end of that first episode, and Jack, he fucking stretched him. I'm like, God damn! Like
Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that. And then you find the whole tissue thing, and Ace is crying in the ring because he tried so hard to maintain that. Oh, it didn't work. It didn't work. He breaks down, and oh
Yeah.
god, yeah. Then
But
you've got to deal with that.
yeah, and the setup though it was Jack that was responsible for getting all the tissues,
Yeah.
uh,
Yep.
doing it at that time, and like he wasn't aware of it until that comes up later on in a fucked up way.
Oh yeah. God, it was funny. Um, you've got you've got the family drama, and then of course he's a promoter, so he's always thinking wrestling, and it's obviously it's weighing on his family because wifey's getting pissed, and then he's missing out on stuff with his son, and it all goes back to his dad, and you get those flashbacks of his dad and Wild Bill, who the guy that plays Wild Bill, I remember him from an episode of The Office he was in. He played
Yeah,
Harry Verone. He was one of the salesmen from I want to say it was like Dunder Mifflin. I think he's from Buffalo
one of
or
those,
something
I
like
think.
that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, Chris
And
Bauer. Yeah,
yeah,
that
Chris Bauer.
such a great actor. Yeah, what he did with Wild Bill was hilarious because it was like Hogan and Jake the Snake kind of wrapped into one with some flair. Um,
Yeah.
Ric Flair. But oh my god, dude, I love what he did with that character. It was because oh, what a piece of shit, and then later you kind of rooting for him, and then it's just,
Yep.
the way it plays out works.
That was like, man, that's good writing.
Hmm.
That's good writing.
Very
If
good.
you're
Yep.
that's they send a ancillary character on an arc. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Think about all the shitty projects and shows that we see that don't even send their main characters on that kind of a story or character arc. That much
Yeah.
development.
Captain
Um,
Cardboard.
yeah. So we had what else we have going on? Oh, you got Big Jim who's getting ready to retire, and he's like one of their mainstays. So that kind of leads to like I said, Ace wanting to push, and Jack's like no. But yeah, Crystal getting more involved.
Well, I was gonna say there was
Go
no
ahead.
other female wrestlers in the Duffy thing, but you have
Yep.
someone like her that, again, like Wild Bill says it to her during that first season that it's like you're a star, you're just as big as Ace. You have the fan base.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing the meet and greets, and people love her just as much as any other wrestler because she's a staple, because she's someone who knows what she's doing. She's a personality, all that great stuff. So like I like how he puts his meat hooks into her a bit to use her, but he also genuinely sees the talent. It's not just that he just wants to kind of use her and brush her aside type of thing. It was, no, she is a talent, So I thought they did a nice job handling all that.
Yeah, like I said, the actress really she did a good job with it, and they gave her good dialogue. They set her character up to succeed, in terms of like being a likable character. At first you're like, is she just gonna be a rando? Is she just kind of like I said, a rat? But it's like, no, she's not. She legitimately loves the business.
Yeah. And they got there pretty quickly. Because
Yeah.
But when you first see the character, you know, he's making out with her all over the place, he's banging her. But then it's like, as soon as you start to see her hanging around the other guys and like what she's doing, you could tell it's not a ring rat situation.
Yep. Yeah, 'cause she's not out trying to bang anybody else,
No.
until her and we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But I liked I like the CM Punk cameo in episode 3, Cheap Heat. You have Ricky Rabies come in, and
Yeah, I gotta
you
agree.
got it.
I think he should retire from wrestling and get into acting because he's a better actor than he is a wrestler.
Yeah, he did just enough acting in this, and when he got to get in the ring, it's like, okay, this speaks for itself.
Yep.
So yeah, that was nice, man. And okay, so you get Ace when Ace busts Bobby's leg. Dude.
Yeah, that was brutal.
I that was hard to fucking watch. Like, I cringed. I'm like, oh my god. Like, he just snapped his fucking shit. Like,
I was gonna ask you, in that moment, is that the correct place that it would break with the pressure he was putting on?
I think so. It looked right. I mean, it was hard to watch, but I given the way he had the hold locked in, I'm pretty sure that's where it would snap first. But God,
and that was insane because So I guess we'll lead up into that then. From what they were doing with their angle is all right. So you had the Ace character. He shit talks everyone when he's got to turn heel, and they're kind of on the. They don't know how he's going to handle it, but like his brother Jack knows he's going to do a good job. So when it actually happens, he does a solid job in the ring and all that stuff. And then when he gets to the back, he's staying in that character, and he's being a dick to everyone.
Yeah.
That's when he shouts at her, you're not my girlfriend, get the fuck away from me. And he even snaps at Willie, Mary McCormick's character, and you're like, dude, when that happened, you're like, you don't do that to her. Like, what the fuck, man? and they kind of put him in his place. But he's like, isn't that what you want me to do, Jack? Don't you want me to be the heel? Don't you want me to stay in character? That's what we're doing. And then he's like, dude, get yourself in check. That's not, you're not supposed to be doing it right. So from that point, though, Bobby Pin's going to be getting a better push. And as they're using that angle, that character Crystal, she ends up being his manager. Or they're going to flip it. But in the meantime, Ace, he grabs another broad who really is like a ring rat.
that Trisha.
Yeah.
That one straight up. I'm like, yep, that's a ring rat.
Yeah, he started banging this chick from what was like a bar or whatever it was.
She was the bartender.
Yeah, and then he brought her in and said, "This is going to be my new manager there," and they're like, "What the fuck's going on?" So they came up with a whole story because Jack and Ace, they're still brothers, and he wants to look out for his brother, and because Ace, Ace saw Bobby was hanging around a lot with Crystal, and when he was he started to change his attitude or whatever, he wanted to go back to her, and then he saw that they were hanging out, and they looked like they were a little bit more than friends, even though they were just friends at that point.
Yep. There was literally nothing going on at all.
Bobby Pin, I like how that guy played it too. It's very wholesome type of guy.
Yep.
You can see the family roots. He's always on his cell phone, or whatever, leaving messages for his parents and wishing them well. Which I thought they were going to do a different angle with that. I thought you were going to find out that maybe they passed away or something, because you never hear a response. So I think keep an eye out for season 2 if they're going to play an angle like that. Because but I like that, because he was like, I'm following my dream, like you guys told me to do, and all that stuff. So Crystal starts to help him build his character, and it's a little too much. And she's like, no, she's sort of with like the fans when these 2 kids run up to him, and he's treating them so well, flexing with them, getting down on one knee and all that stuff. She's like, no, you got to stay you got to stay Bobby, because you're a good person, and people want to see that. Especially, you're going to be a good guy. You're going to be someone who stands out in the ring like that. That's going to work, because Ace is such a dick in the ring. yeah, it's gonna work perfectly. So then they had to do that angle when they set it up, and Willie, she's like, yeah, we need photos of you two kissing or something, because if you're gonna do a flip, and then they start kissing and making out or whatever, and Bobby actually gets excited when she's straddling him, which you can't blame him.
I love it. She's like, pretend like she gives you a boner, and then I was like, I could see this setup for that one coming, because they're like, she kisses him, she's like, Jesus Christ, you're not fucking related.
Yeah,
that was funny. She's getting off me. He's like, sorry.
But she looked happy. So
and
then you find out later too. You had Apocalypse there. You had James Harrison's character's like, dude, tell her, man, tell her that you got feelings for her and stuff. A girl like that's not gonna stick around. Like he's like, oh man, I gotta find the right time. Like he's still playing it extra nice. And at that point, you're like, you want to see those two characters together already.
Yeah, it's like, please don't do that honey dick thing where it's like a will they, won't they, and then drag it on, like that, and then you could
put it there, but don't drag it too long. When you drag it too long, then it becomes painful, and it's like, I didn't even give a shit when they finally do get together. So it's like,
it becomes anticlimactic at that point.
Yeah, they did it like with Moonlighting and a couple different fucking. I know we're going really old school, but. So going back to right before Bobby gets his leg broken, Crystal, she grabs the mic away from Ace. And she changes the script. She goes on the fly.
She goes off script.
Wild Bill told her, "You're a star. Act like one. Go in there. Fuck it. If they're gonna mess with you, it doesn't matter. You take control." And she did. She took control in a big way. The fans went crazy. They loved it. But at the same time, Stephen Amell's character Jack, he's the referee, and at that point. He knows how pissed off Ace got. He's like, "What did you get out of the ring now? Get in the back. We're going to talk about this later." And throughout the match, Ace is throwing potatoes at Bobby. He's roughing him up. He even gets him to do going off the top of the cage and like slamming him, reverse suplex there, whatever. Dude. He's like, I've never done this before. Don't be a pussy. And he didn't even wait for him. He just did it.
He just went.
Yeah. And at that point, like, all right, that was a good setup because you thought maybe he would get hurt there. Nope. He puts the lock on him. And when he does that, he's like, man, it's hurting. Like, dude, it's hurting bad. Please stop. And then pop.
Yep.
Whew. Yeah, you get that crazy feeling in the pulse.
Yeah, me and the wife were watching that, and it was like, I was like, he's gonna break his leg, watch. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, I was like you said, I thought he was gonna get hurt doing the big spot off the cage, but he made it through that. And I've never worked a cage match, but I hated going off the top rope. I fucking hated it.
Yeah.
I don't like heights, and I'm 6'3". Those when you stand up on top of one of them fucking things, you're 12 feet in the air almost. It's depending on what size ring you're in. I mean, it's and then I'm jumping off those fucking ropes and coming down, and that landing ain't fucking easy. That's why you see them guys that all fucking their hips. It's like they land on their side on their hip. Like me, the one time I came down and dropped an elbow, I just took a back bump. I'm like, basically, I'm just landing on my fucking back. I'll just do a back bump and drop the elbow. And that way, none of my weight is hitting the fucking person I'm elbow dropping either. So but dude, that shit, the wrestling was on point in that. And Crystal, she took the heat for that, because Jack fucking knew they were going off script. And Wild Bill fucking he did it for the right reasons, but it was just horrible timing. Just horrible timing.
Absolutely. But at the same time, though, they were going to make a joke out of Crystal's character, and that's why she put she put a stop to it before it happened.
Yeah.
She fucking definitely. Yeah, she's getting way over with everyone.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, she's at that point. It's like she's over. So you got to do something with her, and I like when Ricky Rabies comes in for the show. And you get the drone, and you get that really telling moment because his valet and his kid, it's funny because Crystal thinks that that's his woman. And then his wife calls, and then, she says to Crystal, she's like, well, not every relationship's conventional. And because she's telling her about how to keep your man happy and all that. And yeah, she's a side piece.
Yeah, she was giving good advice to her.
She was.
And then she's like questioning that advice when she finds out. Yeah, like what the...
Yep.
That even the son knew, because the son was there. He was working the drone.
Yep.
So that shit was funny.
Yeah, 90% of the time, I don't think it'd go that swimmingly in reality.
No.
Unless your wife is very fucking understanding. Hey, hon, we're going on the road, and I'm just gonna have the kid around just my valet, who's also my side piece. That's
right.
No, it doesn't work like that. She'd be like,
valet.
Oh,
I was saying manager before. Well, it's kind of the same, but whatever.
They're the same. I think she was more of a manager than the valet. Whereas like Crystal was, when she started out, she was a valet because she didn't really do much other than just look good, But no, I think what was funny too was when she helped Bob, when we were talking about she was helping Bobby with his gimmick, because he wanted to do that Bobby 85 and he had to come down to rap and shit, and she's like, it doesn't work for you, that's not you.
Yeah.
I really like that because it's funny because if you have to change gimmicks suddenly, it can be very jarring, and especially like if you've worked the same gimmick for years. Like I never changed my gimmick. I went heel and face turn, but I never changed I worked one show where I wasn't Pete Daddy Dollar. In 10 years, I worked one show, not as myself. I worked it as my literal name was Severian Kardashian. I was a fucking Kardashian for one show. And we did it because we were working in this podunk ass fucking town that's about 20 minutes away from me. That's like, just backwater shit. We were working a fair show. And I was like, fuck it. I was like, I'll just be a Kardashian and come out and call these people white trash. It's funny too because they say you're not over as a heel until somebody threatens to stab you. That was the show I thought it was going to happen at.
Did it?
But no, it did not. It did not. I thought we were close at one point though. So yeah, the blood thing is funny too because it's like they don't do blood, but it was like it was gimmick blood, So that kind of worked. And at least they own the venue. It's not like they have somebody else's venue they're worrying about. What's his and we're Bill, Wild Bill.
Mm-hmm.
His interactions with like the people up north. Holy shit, dude.
WWE basically.
Yeah. And of course he's got a black female boss.
Uh-huh. Well, I thought that was smart too when they pulled out that belt and they didn't put the logo on. It was the logo goes here, and then you see it's like all lit up like a Christmas tree, all the lights and shit.
That fucking he's like he's naked with the fucking belt on the airplane and shit. Oh my god,
the flare.
He goes. And then he went to stay with Willie, which like you knew those two had a past. And he goes to stay with her and her husband.
Yeah.
Who's like pretty much just like a feckless wimp.
Yeah.
Ted.
Yeah, they made sure to make it like that, which was... you knew it as soon as you saw him, but...
Oh yeah. But dude's got money. Look at the house they're living in.
Right. And they still gave him a decent moment anyway later on. But he's like, I don't know what the full situation. He's like, I assumed that you had a pass together because I never asked because it didn't matter, and I know that was going to happen. But it's like anything you said, you wanted me to do this, you did. I did it. Let him stay here. Whatever happened, you said get him out. Boom, gone without even questioning it. So he's like, he wanted to have his family moments and shit, but like she wasn't about to tell the husband what Bill had said about their child. That was too savage.
That was fucking dude. That I was like, oh wow, like that was deep. Like he cut deep with that one.
Yeah.
Like
she that was a couple times for that one, but yeah. And then she's like, get out of my house.
Yep.
You piece of shit.
I did like when Ted ended up taking all his shit and just throwing it out. He goes, "There's a fucking hotel down the road, blah 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 blah."
Yeah.
And it
And
was
he's
like,
like, what the
"Fuck."
what?
Goodbye, Bill. Closes the garage door and walks inside. I was like, "That was fucking gangster."
Yeah, that's what I mean. They
That was
gave him a
fucking
moment or two, which like you get
Ted.
some redeeming qualities, but even the characters that are supposed to be like that cuck type.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
it was
Ted
cool.
got a little. Ted got a little shine. Ted
Yep.
got a little shine. He got over for a minute.
Mhm.
And we got to talk about Tom Spade. Who was it that played him? That guy. It was it. I can't think of that. That was John Hamm. Was it? That played.
This
Who was
guy's
that?
name was David James Elliott. I know I've seen him before, but I couldn't place.
He's
him.
very. Like I said, he reminds me of John Hamm. That kind of like jawline.
Yeah.
But dude
He was in he was in Jag.
Jag. That's
That's
okay. He was what's the chick's name was what Harm, and yeah. Because that's NCIS is a spinoff of that. That's where he's from. Okay, he's from Jag. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, they did a great job.
Catherine Bell. It was him
Bell.
and Catherine Bell.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
he's
he
a
was
big
beautiful.
freaking guy. He's 6'4".
Yeah.
I
was gonna
realize
say,
how big he was because like even Amell, like he looked dwarfed next to him. I'm like, holy crap.
Yep.
And I
Yeah,
almost couldn't place it because I mean like he aged up in the face, but the guy was still in great shape. And man, what a great actor. He's 62.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Is he really?
Yeah.
God damn, he was in good fucking dude. That guy was cut like
Oh yeah, man.
but what a fucking prick, man. He always treated Jack like shit.
Oh.
When they were kids, like the way he was talking up Ace when he's playing football and shit, and it's like, oh my god, like, can you blame Jack for like hating his younger brother at that point?
Yeah, it was. And Ace, he didn't want to go into wrestling or anything. It's Jack that pulled him into it. He was supposed to be this football star, but couldn't cut it. And then at that point,
he's too dumb. He wouldn't go into class.
Yeah, and then at that point, he wanted to also make sure that, he was gonna excel in the wrestling thing because he showed that he had the chops for it. So then Jack ended up building up really strong. It's like, yeah, he's like our one of our star attractions. Yeah, we got to keep him here, and we got to make sure that he's happy. But at the same time, he knows he was too green as well. He knows if he started getting his big shot, his big moment, he was going to blow it or do something really horrible. Because that's the whole thing of why Wild Bill came down there, because he was going to get
for the tryout.
Ace. Yeah, he was going to get Ace up there for the tryout. He was going to, give him a good push for the big company.
Get him into developmental.
Yep. And they pull it off as if Jack was super jealous and didn't want to see it happen. But then at the same time, you could see that Jack was right. That Ace didn't know how to be mature. He would have fizzled out faster than the whole shit with what the hell's his name, Shawn Michaels, because how Shawn Michaels was such a massive dick and a drug addict. Like his brother would have went down a path like that, but it would have been way worse. And his career would have been over before it blew up. So that's why he was trying to make sure his brother was going to do the right things. And you see that when he's kind of how he treats them when they're a little bit younger and stuff too. Like they have these moments, these big brother, younger brother moments that work. But then you're right. His father who steps in and manhandles Jack, puts him on his ass.
Like, he was playing with Ace out there. Yeah, you want to fucking just play around, huh? And he's like just basically beating on him.
Yeah.
And then they had that scene when they were on the side of the road too. Remember when he found out he got Ace into wrestling?
Yeah, he was furious, and he wanted to throw down with his son there. You beat me.
Yep.
I'll sign over the Duffy Foundation, everything over to you. And he's like, I'm not fighting you, Dad. Like, they had their moment there. It's like, dude, you're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And you find out later that he was.
Yeah, that the day that Tom offed himself. Like, when he goes out for his run, comes in, drinks a glass of water, he went out, looked at the garden, walked up to his bedroom, grabs the pistol, walks out in the deck, and all of a sudden just pop, falls right over.
And they set it up as if he was going to get the gun and shoot the deer that was on their property.
That's
eating the vegetables or whatever.
That's what I thought he was going to do. I was like, oh, he's going to shoot the deer. Oh, shit.
Nope.
No, he's not.
He shot the buck.
He is not. Yeah.
Crap. And yeah, that was all right. I got to give it to the one who played Ace, Ludwig, Alexander Ludwig.
Yeah, Alexander Ludwig.
Yeah, got to give it to him because when he went out there, he heard the gunshot. He's like, Dad. At that look he gave when he saw over the banister that the body had fallen over, that complete tremble, shock, dude, that pulled on the heartstrings. All right, that was like a oh my god moment. Yeah, excellent job. But again, that guy is a fantastic actor.
Yeah,
watch him in a number of episodes of Vikings, and yeah, dude, he knows what he's doing.
I didn't know Stephen Amell broke his back during the first episode of this.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Performing a stunt for the first episode, he broke his back. It's like he should have went and actually. I'm surprised he didn't go to actual just like a training school. I would have.
I thought that he did because he did a match for WWE, and they said he was preparing for it. I think Cody was at the time. Cody was friends with him, and he was giving him pointers and shit and training him because he had a match with him. I forgot who the full thing was, but I saw it. I saw the match, and he did a pretty good job. He jumped off the top ropes and everything. Like he didn't pussyfoot. Like he went for it. So
I wonder why how the hell he broke his back. I got to look more into that. I'm kind of interested.
Yeah, I'm curious.
So this whole time, everything's going on with the Duffy Wrestling League. We have Florida Wrestling, or is it Florida Wrestling Dystopia? Is that what the name of the?
Yeah, I believe it was.
Oh my God! Yeah, Florida Wrestling Dystopia. What Charlie Gully is the oh my God, what? The guy that plays him's great actor.
Mike O'Malley, great freaking actor. I see him on a bunch of TV shows and stuff. He did mostly sitcoms, but when he gets a chance to do like drama and stuff, holy crap, that guy, he's got some acting chops on him too.
Yeah,
and
he can shine
beautifully. Yeah. I didn't recognize him at first when they were just showing the promos. I noticed him a little bit later when they gave him, when you actually saw him speaking regular to everybody else. But the promos that they were cutting, because he had the big beard, the glasses, the hat, I didn't recognize him. Like, guy kind of looked familiar, but I'm like, who is he?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, he did a great job.
He's like, what's his name? He reminds me of, it's like an amalgamation of different promoters, but I think there's supposed to be some Tony Khan in there.
Yeah,
I really do. I think
the one from ECW. What the fuck's his
name? Paul Heyman.
Yeah, Paul Heyman. Yeah, there's a few in there, and they upped it a lot too. I also saw a lot of what's his face from WCW, Eric Bischoff. I saw a lot of Bischoff there too.
Yep.
But yeah, he had more of the asshole vibe to him that Heyman had early on with ECW stuff. But yeah, it was all about that. We're savage, we're brutal, we're all that type of stuff. And yeah, that whole promotion that they did showed that this guy, he's a trust fund baby. He's got a ton of money, and he wants to crush Jack Spade and the whole Duffy family because of the shit talking that Jack's character did on an interview. Like, it was on one or two interviews, and he's like, he's destroying my brand, I'm going to sink him, just holding a bullshit grudge for the sake of it. It really wasn't for anything.
No. And then, he poaches Rooster. He gets Rooster to go over.
I said it when I was watching, I'm like, oh, he's getting Rooster because he's gonna start to get the rest of he's going to pull the rest of them over. He's using him as bait. And I was right. He used him for bait to get Jack. Or not Jack, I'm sorry, Ace. To get Ace.
Yeah, when Ace went down there, I'm like, is he gonna go down there and like, confront this guy, or is he just gonna? Oh, he waffled. He waffled. He just, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, you do his drugs and drink his beer and shit. Yeah, the guy flies in on a fucking helicopter. I mean,
Yeah.
it looked like Bill Gates' fucking house.
Corn.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's corn. It's creepy.
They were.
But yeah, the speech that he gives him though too, because he's like, yeah, like I'm out. Like he's Ace is like ready to tell him to go fuck off and everything, and he's like, just hear me out for 5 minutes, and then do what you want, but at least give me that.
Yeah.
So he's like, have some fun, drink my beer, take the coke, bang a hooker, doesn't matter. But when he sat there and he had this conversation with him about how he could build him up, how he's gonna make him a star, all that stuff, like it made sense for the character, and like how he kind of, he sweet talked him over, and then the crazy story he told him about his personal, we'll say his Ron Gashman moment. Oh shit.
Dude, yeah, that whole scene, and then when Ace goes to the show and Jack finds out he's there, and and he drives down there.
But see, that was good writing though too, because Ace was almost like he wanted to brag it in Crystal's face as well, and hey, get back with me, and we could be a real big star. We'll make some big money.
Yep.
Because he still wanted her, but didn't know the full situation and stuff, So So Crystal went running to Jack and said, "Your brother's there right now." She's like, "What?" And he was like, "What kind of angle is this?" Because you always got an angle. He's like, "This isn't an angle. And how stupid are you? You don't see that I care about the Duffy Foundation, everything you built here, everything your father stood for. That's what I'm here for." She goes, "And because I don't want to see Ace getting hurt," because she still had feelings for him, obviously. So yeah, Jack jumps in his car. He pisses off the wife, and he goes down to go get Ace, and while he's there, you see how he had he went in disguise. He had his baseball cap on. He put his glasses.
Yeah,
no one would recognize him, and you see Rooster got the belt. You see how brutal the match was. Barbed wire in the mouth. He's fucking spitting out blood and all that crazy stuff. Gets back there, and he seems all cool and all that shit. But Ace tells him, he's like, "Yeah, dude, like that was a great match. You got everything." But the Charlie Gully character had already told Ace, I'm gonna give you the belt. And he's like, "What do you mean? He just got it." He's like, "Doesn't matter. Next week I'm giving it to you." And he tells him flat out, "Rooster was the bait. You're the star I want." And he brings that up to Rooster, and Rooster, because he's savvy as shit too. He knows
he was no dummy.
No, and that's why that character he did a good job, because he got the arrogance when he needed it, but he also got the professionalism when he needed it as well. Like he did a good balance there. I think that guy did a fantastic job. But he knew what was down. So Charlie Gully's character, he goes to the ring. He's cutting his big promo. He said, "How great would it be if I just called out Ace right now? And what would that do to the Duffys? Because the Duffys have this big, huge event that's going to happen in a couple of days. They got the
State fair. They got
State fair. Yes.
Yeah, because the people from the State Fair came and watched their big house show, and that went over really well, even with the leg break.
Yep.
They still liked it.
Well, that I thought they did a great job. They thought it was a work. So,
they thought it was a work.
Yeah, and his son did a great job. Was it Roxton? I think his name was. That kid did a great job, Jack's son, because he sold it to those people from the State Fair as well. He's like, "No, it's a story, and they're doing this, and they got to stay in character, because like the people in town, they also have to see it that way. Everyone knows that those elements aren't real, but it works for when you think it is. Like almost like everyone's kind of in on it." And so when the leg break happened, like, "Oh my God, he did such a great job. How did he sell that?"
Oh yeah, he's good. He's good. He's just really gifted.
Yeah. That was awesome. But
Bones
yes,
fucking sticking out of his leg.
so yeah,
But
so
yeah,
they got the big deal, and yeah, they're gonna have the big state fair, 10,000 people. You got Wild Bill, who was gonna be the big attraction for it, and he got
Yep.
all the asses in the seats. He lost his job at the big company, so
Yeah,
this
they
is
fired
his
him.
big. Yeah, they fired him after what he did on the airplane,
The airplane
telling off the.
called them all corporate cunts.
Yeah, that was excellent. But
It was. It
yeah,
really
so like
was.
so there's the big show that's gonna happen, and yeah, Charlie Gully wants to screw them all over. He wants to take their star
Yep.
away from them. And right when he's like ready to call out Ace, Jack jumps in the ring and just lays him out, punches him in the face.
Oh, that was great.
Yep.
That was.
And
I
he
was
said
waiting
that
for him to fucking do that.
Yep, and he's like, "Stay away from my shit." He yells at him. This is my family. This is my business, you know. And at that point, Ace is like, he saw it, and he saw that his brother stood up for him, and he 180 right there at that moment, 180.
Yep.
Because you know Ace was going to go out there and be their big star. But when he saw his brother stood up for him like that, and then he brought him out there, like, they have their moment in the car as well, and he's trying to tell him, like, you know, I did this for you. I'm giving you the belt. This whole setup is for you, and we're gonna do this the right way. Like, he's putting all of his cookies in the, you know, we got all the eggs in that basket. You know, he's letting them know, well, I love you, brother, and you're the one you're gonna keep this thing going. So while all that's happening, you got the wife who finds out in the place she works, and again, she should have found that out a lot easier and a lot quicker. But the tissue situation was Jack's doing, and she saw how he manipulated his own brother to that point, and she's like, you know, what the hell are you turning into? That's what she was really destroyed and disappointed in her husband. Until they have their moment a little bit later, and he kind of explains the situation to her.
And in the meantime, she's got her. She's going to sing the national
rodeo
anthem at the Georgia State Rodeo Championships, like the same night as the fair, too. I believe it was. So, and
yeah, and
they moved
the time slot because she was supposed Jack's character was going to see her sing, and then they were both going to go down to the big venue to do the wrestling.
Yeah,
but they switched the time. So, but he was still being. I mean, they're separated sort of at that point. She's staying with you know. With a friend or whatever.
Her friend. It was funny when all her girlfriends came to the wrestling show.
That was good.
They came to that one. That was funny. But yeah, so yeah, she's staying with her friend, and yeah, they've got the whole thing going on, and that show at the state fair. It's like they brought Big what's his name? Big Jim came back for that. You know, they got him to come back. Yeah, Ace was really funny when they did the son's christening. Because he's Big Jim's the kid's godfather.
Yeah, he gave a great speech.
He gave a great speech. Yeah.
Yeah, you could see the maturity coming back on him, and he's learning that he messed up when he apologized to that one clerk, the chubby girl.
Yeah, he brought her tickets. He ended up bringing her tickets and everything for the fair, and she was there that night. You know, it was, and then you get Gully and them guys are hiding in the crowd. Because after he takes his ass whipping, you know, they got a receipt coming.
Yeah, because Rooster says it too. They're having a conversation, and Rooster's kind of laughing about it because he's like, "Yeah, I'm retaining this belt, bitch." But at the same time, he's going, "Oh yeah, you want to get to them? You want to hurt them? You got to do it on their turf. You got to do it in their house.
Yep.
They shit in your house. You got to go return that favor." So yeah, they're going to plan to sabotage their big wrestling match. So Wild Bill, he's you know, and he hasn't wrestled in a while, and they know he's messed up and he's all hurt, but he's the big draw. So Wild Bill goes to Diego looking for whatever he could find. Give me some good shit. He gave him a bunch of stuff. He's like, this isn't strong enough. Go get me the good shit. And he gave him something where Bill takes 3 pills and he's all spacey. He's seeing tunnel or.
That shit was hilarious.
Bird's eye view shit. Like his everything was slurred as it was kicking in, and then he was kind of good to go in the ring. He got very loose. He got too loose.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a three-way match between Jack, Ace, Wild Bill, and it was going to be like a ladder match to get the belt, and they were going to set it up for Ace to climb up and get it. But as they do the spot after the first 2 moves or something, Wild Bill shits his pants.
That was the best. He Sid Vicious himself. I was like, did he just say he shit himself? I'm like, that's happened. I'm like, that's not. That's something that happens. That's it.
Dude, that was hilarious. So
I love he's like, I gotta lay here and play dead.
Yeah, and I gotta say too, because he had Bobby Pin, who his leg's getting better, but now he's got like a boot on, and he's gonna be the referee during this match.
Yeah, he's refereeing.
Which, okay, so you have that. You have the valet, which is Crystal, but Crystal came out as Wild Bill's valet because Wild Bill
Bunny.
wanted, as the bunny, bouncing bunny, whatever it was. Because they set it up where he had a number of these different valets, and it'd be a great pop for, and it would.
It was like taking the mantle. That's what it was like, taking the mantle of his valet.
It was good because Jack didn't want to hire her back. It was up to Ace.
Yeah.
Ace is like, no, we are cool. Like Jack didn't understand that they were all right and that it was Ace's fault. So when he gave the green light, he's like, all right, cool, do it then. You're good. You're hired. Welcome back. Because he knows how talented she is too, and how what she did was so important too. Calling Jack to let him know that Ace was down by Gully's place, that was a big deal. That was huge, and he saw that. So I like that you have more of that family environment again. Like she is one of us. It's a good thing. So that at the same time, so she's there. You got Bobby Pin's there as the referee. And now the 2 brothers have to work as best they could, and they're setting it up. They're getting there, and then at one point, Gully and his men, they start throwing the tissues, and he bought thousands of dollars worth of them, and they were pummeling. As the 2 brothers are going up, they're gonna have their big moment. You got the belt in between them, and he goes, "Is this you?" And this was the whole thing with Jack's wife too. You're gonna tell your brother, and Jack never had a moment to tell him yet.
He tried 3
times. Yeah, he tried like 3 times. Didn't work out. And he goes, "Is this you?" And he goes, "No, not this time."
Not this time.
Ace loses it. He sees red. He punches his brother with all of his might, knocks him off the ladder, jumps down instead of touching the belt, beats the hell out of his brother.
Yeah.
Beats him bloody.
Yep. He just fucking, as I said, I was like, oh, here he goes. He's going to start firing live rounds. Watch.
Yeah. And at that moment, Gully's like, fuck this. I'm going to get their belt. And Gully's ready to run in there. And Wild Bill sees it because he's playing possum the whole time. He's like, I shit my pants. If I get up, it's going to ruin my career, my reputation. But he saw that. And he's like, no, I'm not going to let them do this. So he gets up. You see the big shit stain on the edge of the mat. And he goes over and lays out Gully.
Knocked him out. Fucking hit him with a line. That was fucking beautiful. Yeah, he's like, well, I guess if I'm going to ruin my career, I might as well do it knocking this asshole out, you know?
And then they take the belt and see, and I called it. I knew this was going to happen. They had Crystal running. Now, all right, I see what they were going for. I do respect the character. I love what they were doing. I know a lot of people say, oh, it's girl empowerment shit. Because they had a lot of moments throughout it where it's like they make fun of that stuff, especially Wild Bill's character. He makes fun of it throughout the entire season, and it's good. It's funny. It works. They have her run up and grab the belt, and I'm going, Bobby is right there.
He should have taken his referee shirt off and climbed the fucking ladder and grabbed the fucking belt.
Boom. And then
crowd would have fucking popped.
Right. And then you have Crystal rip off the bunny ears and kiss him. Boom. That's more solid. That's more wrestling. That works. Having her run and grab the belt, I think they set themselves up for a really bad situation going into season 2. Just that's my personal opinion on the matter, because there's no female wrestlers, and you're gonna have because she got into the ring when Wild Bill couldn't do it, and she was being part of the 3-way, and they loved what she was doing so much that they kind of gave her moment and grabbed the belt, because Ace wasn't going to do it. Ace was at that point, he's like, fuck you, bro, fuck this, but he was still kind of cheering on Crystal as well. She's like, you do it. So like I get
Yeah.
it, but I think if you're gonna be more smart about it and you want to be more accurate to wrestling, you'd have Bobby do it.
Yep. This to me, I and my wife was even, because we watched the finale together, and she was like, "Are you fucking serious?" She goes, "Why would?" I'm like, I'm rolling my eyes all the way back in my head like I'm the Undertaker. I'm like, that really? I mean, like, yeah, I can see what you're doing, and I reject it because it's stupid.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Bobby should have got the belt.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, he's out there. He's got the boot on. He can still climb the ladder. Takes the shirt off, goes up, grabs the belt, gets the girl, and there you go. You know, now you've got a feel good story. But they're like, no, we're gonna do this. I'm just like, after a fucking solid 7 and 3/4 episodes,
Yeah.
it took 1/4 of an episode to shit the bed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They shit the snakeskin pants. And again, like I really like that actress. I think she did a great job. She's a smoke show.
Absolutely. She was good.
Yeah, she's very solid. And again, like I said, I like to see her doing more, more movies and TV and shit. But unless you're gonna start going the route of Glow, I think that was a bad decision.
You got no other. You're not gonna have her beating all your men. I mean,
no. And
like, come on.
And I'm not going to dismiss the series because of that ending, because I know a lot of people would.
No.
And they might just go, oh, woke. No, because it still kind of made sense for the story, but it was not the right decision. That was a huge mistake. I think the writers needed to talk more. I mean, you had CM Punk there. You had, what's his name? Well, no, they're both feminists. Never mind. I was gonna say you had a
Foley
by Foley, but yeah, the two of them are ultra feminists. So. But if you
CM
had
Punk's a cuck.
Yeah, if you had someone with more center views at least, and have a proper conversation with them, they'd be like, oh yeah, no, that's a huge mistake. This is what you got to do. Yeah, you get Bobby to get it. He still needs to heal up all the way, so then you can start doing other angles with other characters. Because at that point, Ace walks, and that's how it ends. Ace is walking up the ramp towards us, and it goes to black. Like, he's done. You could see he's done with his brother. He's done with the Duffys. And this was a 10,000 seat arena. This is going to bring major attention to them, but you could tell he's like, no, this is over. So, I don't know. I'm curious to see what they're going to do. I don't know when the second season's supposed to air, but we'll see. You need a bigger cast at this point now.
Yeah, that's one thing that I was on. Heels season 2. It says it was renewed on November 3rd, 2021. So they haven't started shooting it yet. No, they need more ancillary wrestlers. Like you would see in the background, you would see like, okay, so they only focus on like 5, 6 wrestlers, which is fine. But then, when it comes show day, there's like 20 of them there, and it's like, wait, who are all, now I'm sure that they have their solid nucleus of the roster that, is from right there in Duffy. And then they have guys that, come in from outside, so, it's not all like, but it's like they don't develop any of them. You don't get to really meet any of them, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We never got any of that.
Yeah, throughout the season, you see like a couple of the guys and all that. Like, there's the one dude they gave him Bret Hart's colors. Like you could see some of the stuff that's going on. But yeah, they need to get. Yeah, you need more people at this point, because Rooster to me was like the biggest personality that they had. Diego was good. Like, he had some good moments. Apocalypse had some good lines as well. But it was really just those 3 guys that you really saw, and Bobby did. Yeah. But Bobby was more. He was more in there with the rest of them. You're more kind of secondary characters. It was Big Jim, and then after that, it was the guys that basically had like no lines or one line. But I get it, because they kept it a tight a tight cast. They wanted to tell the story that they wanted to do, and I thought they did a very solid job. Yeah, I like it. I give me 8 out of 10. I think it was very good. The last 20 minutes, I think, was the biggest thing that hurt that season, because I would have gone higher with it, because everything was very, very solid for me with all that.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I'd probably go between a 7.5 and an 8 on this one. Yeah, the last 20 minutes of the finale wasn't enough to detract from the rest of the show and how good it was.
Yeah.
Because I liked it. I liked the acting. I liked how they presented wrestling. It wasn't done to look like wonky or like a fucking joke or anything like that. So, yeah, that was nice to see. It was treated with with respect. So, I was good with that. But yeah, I'll go 7.5 on it.
Yeah. I was a little extra generous because it was a show that had good cursing and nice tits in it. So that's why they get that extra half a point from me to a solid 8. You don't really see nice tits anymore unless it's like HBO with all the dragons. Like and that's fine, but yeah, because that little broad Kelly, like, what, the first 4 or 5 episodes, her tits were out the entire time, and like, more of her, please.
Got to subvert the male gaze, though. Got to subvert the male gaze, right?
But they did it in a good way. Like, it felt like something out of the 80s and 90s again. That's why, like, it was good. You didn't really see the woke bullshit.
No.
And they poke fun at it. So yeah, it checked off a lot of good boxes for me in the entertainment aspect, the storytelling aspect, and kind of fan service in a way to certain things. But
yeah, it paid reverence to wrestling. The actors did a wonderful job. The writing was solid.
Yeah.
The story made sense. Like I said, outside of Crystal winning the belt, there were no like big contrivances for me or anything like that. It was, I was fairly happy with the way all the episodes played out. I want to see more Bobby Pin. I want to see if him and Chris, what's going to happen with those two now.
Yeah.
And what are they going to do with her and that belt? It's like, please do not let her start defending that belt. Like,
right, because here's the big thing with that. Had you had Bobby climb up and win it, she kisses him in the ring and all that crap, Ace leaves, now Jack knows he's got to build the roster more, and he's going to start to bring in female wrestlers.
Yep.
Then you have a bigger opportunity for Crystal to shine. You can make her your first champion, female champion. It works that way. It's more realistic that way. Doing the angle that they did was wrong, and that's for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
Like you said, what is she going to do? Is she going to fight Diego? Like, get out of here. Like, it doesn't make sense.
That's like Vince Russo booked that.
Yeah. Yo, bro, swerve. We're going to swerve.
Bro, swerve, bro. There was one of the episodes that was titled Swerve appropriately. No word if Russo wrote that one or not. But, well, that was our review of season 1 of Heels. We both really liked this show. It was enjoyable. Like I said, out sans about 20 minutes of the finale, everything was done great. And like I said, I don't want to take anything away from the character because I like her. I just didn't like the way that scene was written because, like we said, we just broke it down. It could have really been done a lot better. And it would have made more sense in the overarching theme of the story because it just would have trust us. But this was requested by Harvey Wokuian producer, tier member, superfan Adam Shawhan. So thank you for that, superfan. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's about all we got, man. This was fun. We'll have to do another one of these. So that's our review. Vinny's link is always in the description of every video we put out, just like the other horsemen. They're all right down there in the description. I'm Wokuian of the Place to Be Reviews. We've been here with all of you. If we don't see you, have a great day at Pleasant Barn. We'll catch you on the next one.
love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything.
It's better to burn out than to fade away.
I could do this all